If you're in the mood for comfort food and find yourself with a pasta craving, then I've got just a recipe for you. Today we're making baked ziti. This recipe has layers of pasta, a rich meat sauce, a creamy cheese mixture, and plenty of secret ingredients. All baked to golden perfection. This is everything you love about lasagna, but way easier. Meet me in the kitchen, let's make it happen. All right, people, baked ziti is an absolute classic. It also happens to be one of my all-time favorite pastas. Again, you kind of get like the lasagna vibe without all the extra legwork. We're gonna prep our veggies. Real simple ingredients today. We got onion, we got fresh garlic, we got fresh basil. I love basil. If you can find some fresh oregano, that's a nice touch as well. The dried stuff works. That's what we'll be using today, and I'll show you how to rehydrate that in the oil in just a moment. We're gonna go ahead and peel our onion, leave the root intact, making it easier to dice. We're gonna dice up our garlic, give a rough chop to the basil. All right, guys, next up we have secret ingredient number 1. We're gonna mix a little boursin cheese in with our ricotta cheese mixture. 1 whole block. This is about 5.2 ounces, I think it says. And then we have whole milk ricotta, about a pound, 15 to 16 ounces of that. We're gonna mix that together. In my opinion, a lot of the store-bought ricotta is, lacks flavor and depth. So we're gonna mix in a little boursin cheese to add a little complexity to the cheese mixture. Super delicious. It's great with a charcuterie board. It's good in a number of things, and I put a lot of people on the internet onto boursin cheese. So we're gonna mix this together. One of the things that I love about baked ziti is how well it reheats, it travels well, and it freezes well. You can make one big dish like we're making today, vacuum seal it into individual portions and put it in the freezer for months. And anytime you want some baked ziti, you can just defrost it, heat it up, and boom, you got yourself a nice dinner. So we're gonna mix this together. Then we're gonna go in with a little bit of garlic, and then we'll start to add our seasonings. You wanna first mix the ricotta and the boursin together to make sure that it's all unified before you get to adding everything else. All right, so we're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of garlic, a tablespoon of dried oregano or fresh if you have it. Dried works nicely for this recipe. A little bit of red pepper flakes, optional ingredients, gonna add a little bit of heat, but not a lot, about a teaspoon or so of those. You can leave those out if you want. And then my all-purpose seasoning, or just a little salt and pepper, whatever floats your boat, but this AP seasoning covers all your bases. Got salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, things like that. Quick reminder, guys, you can find this recipe and all of my recipes for free at mrmakeithappen.com. In with about a 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, and then a 1/4 cup of diced parsley. All right, guys, couple very important tips. Number 1, heavily salt your pasta water. That little pinch of salt I see y'all adding on the internet is not enough. Add enough until it tastes like the ocean. You want it to be heavily salted, that way the flavor gets into the pasta. It's your best opportunity to season your pasta. Next, stop adding olive oil to your pasta water. It's not doing anything. Just add the pasta to boiling water, stir it so it doesn't stick, you're good to go. If you want to add some oil to it after the fact, then that's fine, but oil and water don't mix. The oil is just going to float at the top of the pasta water, effectively wasting your oil. Now we're gonna move on to our meat sauce. We're going in with some oil, bottom of the skillet. I'm using ground beef and mild Italian sausage today. So we're going in with the mild Italian sausage. If you don't eat pork, no big deal. You can just add the all beef, turkey, whatever protein you like. And then we're gonna add the ground beef at the same time. I'm gonna try to make sure we make good surface area contact with the bottom of the Dutch oven or your skillet. That way we develop some crust. The crust is gonna add flavor, texture, and color, which is important. All right, so once the meat is browned beautifully on all sides, we're gonna go ahead and add in our onion and our fresh garlic. Immediately, the aromas gonna fill the room. People from upstairs are gonna come downstairs and ask what time dinner is gonna be ready. We're gonna give it a mix. We're gonna start to season this. One thing I should call out is that we're calling this recipe baked ziti, but we're using large rigatoni noodles because in my opinion, those are, the superior noodle. You can get a little bit more sauce inside the noodle. I like to use rigatoni for my baked ziti. So technically, this might be baked rigatoni, but in the style of baked ziti. That is one of my cheat codes as well. We're gonna add AP seasoning. We're gonna add some oregano. We're gonna add some red pepper flakes, maybe a pinch of chicken bouillon just to elevate the flavor a little bit. Tomato paste. You can deglaze with dry red wine if you want to, or just a little beef broth. A couple tablespoons of good quality tomato paste. Give that a mix. All right, guys, so after you add either the red wine or the beef stock like we use today, you want to give it some time over high heat to allow it to really reduce. It's going to concentrate the flavors a lot. At this point, now that we've reduced that, we're going to add in a little bit of chicken bouillon powder. This is kind of just a little flavor cheat code. It's got some MSG. If you eat out at restaurants, this stuff's in pretty much everything. We're also going to throw in some crushed tomatoes and then our tomato sauce. We're going to reduce the heat a little bit now because we don't want it to be a rapid boil. We just want it to be a simmer at this point. And then we're going to taste as we go, adjust the flavor to your preference as always. And just let this simmer 30 minutes, maybe an hour if you have the time. The longer, the better. You can add a pinch of sugar to balance the acidity of the tomatoes. You could drain some of that fat if you want to, but I actually kind of like that. So it's going to add a little good mouthfeel to your sauce. And it's going to add some flavor as well. I'm going to let that simmer for at least 30 minutes right now, and then I'm gonna come back and taste it once the flavors have time to kind of come together. Then I'll make the adjustments that are needed at that point. Now, my friends, it's time to build your ziti. We got our oven preheated to 350 degrees. We got a light layer of pasta sauce down at the bottom. We got our boursin and ricotta mixture. We got some delicious looking ziti, or I guess rigatoni noodles, that's coated in that sauce. We're going down with that first layer of pasta, and then we're gonna top it with that boursin and ricotta mixture, followed by a layer of mozzarella, and then do that one more time. Repeat that, layer situation, kind of like you're building a lasagna. And then top it with mozzarella cheese, pop it in the oven about 30 minutes, and you're good to go. All right, people, there you have it, baked ziti. It doesn't get much better than this. This is perfect for meal prep. Again, you can freeze it, reheat it later. If you got a friend that is injured or just had a baby, you can make this and drop it off at their house. They can eat on it for a couple days. You'll be a saint, trust me. This one is really good. We're gonna dig in for a taste test here. Before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. Here we go, moment of truth. Oh my God. That's good. It's like lasagna, but without all the fuss. If you want this recipe and any recipe from this channel, visit MrMakeItHappen.com. Y'all gotta try it out. Damn.
Man,
It's the one and not the two.
it's like everything